Remind yourself why it is you live. Remind yourself why you wake up every day in the morning and why, despite any or every bad thing that happens to you, you still push through. So, I have a couple things I want to talk about. I wrote it a bit on my notes. Um, so, the reason why I'm making this video today, and it's kind of an impulse, was because I realized this week how bad I feel and how many bad things that I've gone through this week. But I know this is all relative, and I know a lot of people are definitely suffering way more than me. But just because other people are suffering, I realize that doesn't mean that my sufferings, no matter how small they might seem, I think it's alright if I validate it, you know? So, what happened overall this week? So, in the beginning of this week, I did really bad in my organization interview, which would have gotten me into a better position. I took the opportunity for granted and I didn't do well in the interview, and I embarrassed myself so bad. And in the end, I didn't get the position I wanted, which seems really minuscule, but that was just one of the many bad things that happened to me this week. And I know I sound very negative right now, but I promise by the end of this video, I will leave on a positive note. So yes, I got rejected and embarrassed myself a lot. Then also, recently, just yesterday, I hit my car. I hit it on like some concrete barrier. And I know it wasn't really my fault because I could have never saw that, and it was a really tight road. But yeah, that really sucked. But on the bright side, my dad didn't really get mad at me, but I have to kind of deal with all the insurance and things myself, which, alright, that sucks, but I can deal with that. Then I became really sick yesterday, the night of my crash, like really sick. And I believe in that idea of like man flu, where if a man feels flu, sometimes they feel it a bit more. I don't know, but it really feels like that. Like it's hard to breathe and it's hard to like just do anything. And I texted my friends about how sick I was, and guess what? They didn't really care. No one really said get well soon. And I know that's me nitpicking, and maybe it's like me just overthinking about so many things. But basically, they kind of ghosted me, and I feel at the moment where I'm most vulnerable and most weak, I feel like my friends just didn't care about me. And that part really hurt me the most. On top of that, I can't really go anywhere because obviously my car is pretty damaged. So I have to deal with the insurance. But that's me just yapping all about everything negative that has happened. So back to the video. So I have to remind myself. So I feel like with all these negative things, it's important that I remind myself why. Why is it that I live? Why is it that despite all these things that happen, I know it's very relative and it's quite small compared to like real world problems like people are facing war and stuff. But still, it still really sucks. So why? Why do I wake up in the morning? Why, despite everything, I keep going? That's something we're going to answer today. So I kind of believe that everyone needs a reason to live. The reason why they wake up in the morning. Because in the modern day, everyone just looks at social media and all these online gurus telling them, oh, like money is the focus, success, achieving all this, staying youngest, looking young, all these unrealistic, not really unrealistic expectations, but false expectations of life. Like God or even your parents never really taught you that The reason why you live should be because of money. The reason why you wake up every day shouldn't be necessarily because you want to live young, you want to achieve higher status. No, it's to experience life, to kind of live life. But you also still need that specific why. Why do you keep living, you know? The perceptions of others and just everyone around us, if we do not find that reason to live, then other people will lead our own lives. So how do we take control of our own lives? The answer is you have to find your reason for living, and it shouldn't be dictated by anyone else but you. It shouldn't be controlled by the perceptions of others. It should be controlled by what you want out of your life. So the reason why I'm saying this is because I believe once you find the reason for living, I think it will be very, very hard to kind of give up. If you really truly believe, truly live, and truly absorb that meaning in your life, obstacles that come across to your way will come across as kind of meaningful, as kind of obstacles that will help you get closer to your goal. So, what is my reason? My reason is quite simple, and I think it's been my reason for living since probably past 3 years, and it is to be a good dad in the future, to raise children and to kind of teach them about life and focusing on being a good role model for them. And I think that's something that I can already practice from now, even though I'm just a college student. I think it's important that that the stories we tell our children and how we got through our obstacles is really important in the future when we do raise humans of our own. So I think that's something that I can already practice today. And other recent meaningful goals that I have in my life that kind of appeared maybe 1 year ago are also beneficial. It's for me to be a good son, a good friend, and one day teach others, or maybe teach others even from today, how to live life and how to overcome obstacles and how to love. So I believe that direction, those reasons for living kind of direct and lead my life. And when I feel all these negative things that, all these negativity and all the negative things that have happened in my life, I find it important to kind of go back to my reason why I fight, why I keep going despite all the obstacles that I go through. And it almost goes back to that quote that I believe Viktor Frankl, or the writer of the Man's Search for Meaning, wrote in one of his chapters, which is, "He who has a why to live can bear almost anyhow." So what exactly does that quote mean? In my opinion, it's, if a man knows his reason to why he wakes up, he can push through any obstacle that comes through his way. Thank you. That's all from me, and I hope you got something out of this video.